In this part of the demonstration, I want to show you how to create a table in an existing database. Assume I want to conduct a survey. I want to conduct a survey about, say, socks that people prefer to wear. The people in the survey can choose between one type or up to 5 different types. They can make one selection or 5 different types of selections. To do this, I want to be able to first design the table structure. So if I go into the section called Create Table in Design View, double click on there, I come up with this grid-like structure that you see here. Now, the section that's got the heading Field Names defines the field names that I need to be able to use in this database. So what I'm going to do is type out the relevant field names, and the first field is going to be called Employee Number. The employee number field is associated with the employee number that appears in the staff table. And if you go and refer to the information in the staff table, you'll notice that that field is a text type. The field size is 4, and in the description area I could type out a prompt here to be able to describe what information I require, but let's just assume I want to leave that for the moment. For the sake of speed in this demonstration, I'll leave out the description, but normally you would want to type out an appropriate prompt so that people using the database can use this. The next thing that I need to be able to include in this field is the type of sock that the person prefers. So if I type out, say, sock type, and this is going to be text, and the field size is going to be set to 1. I want to be able to make sure that I can capture the appropriate information, and then I need to be able to perhaps have something like notes. And in this case, this field type is going to be a memo field. A memo field is a special type of field. If I was wanting to be able to keep track of special information that I'm recording, a memo field enables me to type out a short story almost. Now I'm going to go back to the sock type here, and I'll just make mention of the fact that even though I'm going to be typing in numbers in this case, the data type is still going to be deemed to be text. The main reason for that is I'm not going to be ever adding up the numbers that I'm recording. I just want to be able to have an identifier or an item that I use to be able to select that particular item. The other thing that I also want to be able to have here is a validation rule. So what I'm going to do here is to type out the following set of rules. I need to be able to type out the fact that when people put in information, they can only have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 in this particular case. The validation rule here determines what type of data or what information can be typed in. So for example, if I was to type in the number 8 or 9, Access should tell me that that's not valid. The validation text might be type only numbers 1 to 5. So if I make a mistake there, Access will tell me that I'm making a mistake. So I've got my table structure set up here. If I go into the menu and choose File, Save Table, and I'll call it Socks, and click OK, Access comes up with this message. There's no primary key here. I'll click Yes in this instance, and what Access does is automatically create a field called ID. It's an auto number. That's a number that Access automatically puts in, and there's a primary key icon up here to indicate that that's a special type of data. I'll talk more about this concept of primary key shortly, but for the moment I'll save my table again, go File, Close, and I've gone back to the screen here. Now what I'm going to do in this instance is to go through and try to enter some information into the SOX table. If I click on the number there and press the Tab key, and I'll type out and use a valid number that I know exists in the database. Let's suppose an employee 0090 likes SOC number 2. There's no notes associated with that. And the employee also likes SOC number 5, and there's no notes associated with that. Everything seems to work fine. If I go down and I type out, say, 9, Access should tell me, as it does here, that there's only certain valid numbers that I can type in, or certain valid information, 1 to 5. So in this instance I need to click OK. I can't go on, because if I try to go on, that message will keep coming up. If I press the Escape key, I back out of what I've created. If I was to save the table now, Access will accept it, and if I was to exit out, everything goes fine. But if I try to use invalid numbers, Access is telling me that there's only a certain type of data that I can type in, and in this instance these validation rules ensure that I don't have incorrect entries. There's only one problem with this particular setup, and that is, let's suppose that the employee actually liked SOC number 1, and I've recorded SOC number 2 as their SOC of choice. Then in this instance I've got a major problem because the data is actually incorrect. I need to be vigilant about the data that I type in. There are some things that I can check against, there are some things that will make it more difficult. End of demonstration.